everyone, my name is Jonah and welcome to another layout upgrading during quarantine video. It's been quite a while since I've done a video, but I haven't really done much other than a running video, and that was basically it. Of course, I just did a running video for Thanksgiving, just to do something out there, because a lot of people would do that with their trains and stuff with Thanksgiving and all, so I decided to put my own spin on it and do something pretty cool. So during that time, I actually did a lot more adding on, and I didn't really have time to really explain much of it because, of course, with school and going on and stuff like that, I haven't really had time to really show off everything that's been going on. So without further ado, I have quite a bit of stuff to show you guys that I've added in, removed, and hopefully this continues to turn out better and better as time goes on. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so there's a lot to go over when it comes to exactly what I've done here, because there's been quite a bit I've done to the layout, and there's been quite a bit of stuff I've done outside the layout. And so I'm going to first start off with the most obvious thing of all, and that is start off with the wall. So the wall, mostly for the wall, you have noticeably seen only this area, just like this area with my two stickers, my two wooden signs, all aboard Railroad Express, railroad crossing sign, or this sign basically. I forgot what it's called, or what specific type of crossing sign it is. And there's the crisscross railroad crossing sign, and those are basically the ones that you would mostly see. And then of course the picture of the 1223 Berkshire steam locomotive. If you guys have all seen those, but I've added some stuff in to fill up the walls even more, and I thought this was a pretty cool idea because I just had these laying around and it was basically pointless just having them being laid around. So I figured out a pretty cool idea, and that is to put these awesome pictures on the walls. These pictures, or I should say drawings, are from the Illinois Railway Museum. I think I went back in November, some sort of 2018. I think it was November of 19? I think it was 19. November of 2019. I think it was a little bit, no, it was earlier than that. Yeah, it was earlier. So I went to the Illinois Railroad Museum. I don't know what I'm talking about. And I basically got a few pictures that they were selling. No, these aren't actual pictures, but these are just like renditions of them. They're just printed out versions of those drawings. They're made very, very well by the people who made these drawings. So I got 3 of them, and they are pretty awesome. I actually did these in order because, of course, it's going in order because these are 3 different types of arrows, and so that's exactly what I did. Now, on the left of that, you may be wondering what this little poster is right here. This little poster came with this 4-cylinder engine right here. On the back of that, it was the instructions to put this guy together and make it working. And then on the other side, it basically had this picture of a car, and then it talks about a combustion engine and how it works, how a gas engine works, and then of course the 4 cycles. It's pretty cool, and I definitely like this little poster. I just wanted to put that up just to fill up the wall space. So there you have it. And then of course, back to these pictures. I did do these in specific arrows. So here we go. So this one is a Sioux Line 48. I think that's a 482 steam locomotive. It's part of the Sioux Line. I believe I said that already. And it's like going past a crossing. See the old grade crossing right there. You have this old car and old grade, or old signal, building right there. See the road is right there. It's pretty cool. Then to the right of that, you have this Milwaukee Road Hiawatha. It's the 442 steam engine. I forgot. I remembered what the name was, but I just forgot. It is not like the. This is like the Hiawatha version. This is like the Hiawatha version before the more powerful and more popular version of the Hiawatha, because this one's the 442, and like the more well-known ones was like the 464s. I believe it might have been Hudson's, I think, but those are like the versions before. And you can tell it's of course the Hiawatha because of the front. Right? So that's like at the side of the station. You can see the little platform right there, and all cars and stuff. That's like a little shed area. There's a little clock on top. It's pretty cool. And then past the window, we go to this one, which is oh gosh, ran into something. Behind the Hiawatha, no, not Hiawatha, Chicago North and Western. I believe this is a E8, EMD E8, and it's pulling 3 passenger cars with a baggage car. Pretty cool. And it's going over crossing as well. Pretty cool. And you have like these cool power lines. Whoever made these drawings did a very good job. I mean, very, very detailed. Really does give me some motivation to make my drawings look like that, because those are really, really nice. And then moving to the right, I have this Illinois Railway Museum calendar. When you go to the museum, they would always give you one of these calendars, and of course to let you know when in the world is going on that year. Like, of course, this is the 2018 edition, so this has the Frisco 1630. So of course the red shaded areas are for special events, blue shaded are electric trains, the yellow is electric, diesel, or steam, and the green is museum grounds are open but buildings are closed and no trains operate on those days. And then of course the white indicates that the museum is closed. So it's very, very useful. I do have a 2019 version, which is like the four of the restored diesel engines that the Illinois Railway Museum has, like 411, like the CNNW 411, the Burlington route, and the CB&Q engine. That's one of most of the ones that are restored. I don't remember what the rest of them were. I do have that 2019 one, but it's not in this area. I have to go get it. I might replace it with or I might replace this one with that one, with the 2019 version. Maybe, I don't know. So that's basically what I did around the wall, and I think it looks pretty cool like that. Adds in a little bit more stuff to the area, and hopefully makes things look better. And now we get to the layout. I have done quite a bit to the layout. Not exactly much to see, but most of it usually function, or usually more for its function than for it to, more of it's for a function than to see. So basically, to start off with the most, obviously see is these two American, I'll just call them flags. The round flags, I don't know. You got these round American flags. I put these up because, first of all, you don't really want to see the bottom down there. You just don't want to see that, because that just doesn't look pretty at all. And so I covered everything up with these flags, and my transformers are still done here. It's a little inconvenient because of these flags, but I hope I can be able to get a different source of power, because conventional is getting pretty limited on me, and I do want to have a little bit more features and stuff to do with my engine. So hopefully that happens. So we still got my grade crossing, and I do want to mention something, that I did have to get replacement grade crossings because the ones that were here well, they just did not want to work for me. I don't know why they weren't working, because, and I'm not lying at all, because I literally did nothing to them. I did absolutely nothing to them. All I've, of course, done ever since I've put this grade crossing in is just run my trains. That's all I've done, and just things just did not. They just did not want to work for me. Like, if they stayed, like if I just left them alone like that, I mean, they just didn't want to work. But then, like, if you would like move it around, I won't deal with this one because I don't want to break it. But if you were to move it around, then it would start working. But then once you let it go and then it stops working again, then one of them just did not want to work whatsoever, and it really just was frustrating. And so I did go to the Lionel customer service and looked up the model number of this grade crossing, and I got some replacement flashers. A little bit expensive, but it was worth it. It was worth the price because they do work really beautifully. It did come here pretty quickly. It took about like a week, like 2 weeks, about a week and a half, and they did come pretty quickly. They did come here this week, and they work flawlessly. Now, I did actually I still, of course, have the other grade crossings that used to be here, and I actually used them, or I'm now using them for decoration, because there's not really a point of using them because they're not going to work anyway. And also I do want to mention that it was not the base problem. It was nothing electrical that was a problem. It was not the base not working, it was the actual flashers, because as soon as I plugged these in, they just worked like nothing. So I have no idea why they didn't work. It's weird, but I just got some replacements and they work just fine. So I did not touch them at all. I just left them how they were, but somehow they just did not want to work for me. So I did keep the old ones, and I still have them. And I actually put them in a special spot because I thought this was a better idea to put those there as decoration, or put the old non-functioning ones as decoration in a special spot. And that is actually over here. Put the old ones over here as a replacement for the crossings that were there before. So these are now, so the old ones are now over here, and they're basically gonna be there for decoration. I basically carefully drilled a hole into the plywood, and then I stuck them into the plywood, and they seem to stick on very, very nicely. Now I do still have the crossings that were the flashers before. Like these are the flashers that I had before that took their place, but because I, of course, would rarely turn these on because of that battery box. I don't know why I have that there. Because of that battery box there, and it's just so inconvenient, and it's just really bulky, and I don't really have a spot to, of course, hide that huge battery box. It really was inconvenient, and so when I replaced the old ones, I decided, you know what, why not use those flashers as decoration? And so that's exactly what I did. Basically put them over there, drilled a hole into the plywood, put it on both sides, and it looks pretty good. I do like how that looks, keeping things looking realistic, and that's definitely a big upgrade to those other ones. I did like those other ones, but of course, just having that big battery box around and just not having a place to put that really just kind of gave a disadvantage. So that's why I decided to get rid of them. You know, not disadvantage, but just did not look good at all. So I went ahead and replaced those. But I will not be getting rid of them. I will be using it for a future thing whenever I need it for something. I don't know what, but I'll figure something out. Now you may be wondering what exactly have I done over here, because you may have noticed, like when I was doing shots of the grade crossing, you may have noticed some stuff over here. Well, if you did notice that, well, good on you, because I actually started to do something pretty cool, and I actually decided to start doing some work on this layout, not just have the basic plywood, because that just doesn't look good at all. So what I went ahead and did is I actually was doing this project or something, project of some sort, and then I saw this, and I was working with this stuff, and I thought to myself, why not use this as a road for my layout? And so that's exactly what I'm using. So what I'm using is like the craft, it's like the craft foam, and these do work pretty well as road. And so what I went ahead and did is create this big road right here. I measured it perfectly so it can be perfectly aligned with the grade crossing road width. And so I continued it on all around over here, but I ran out, so I don't exactly have all of it covered, and I still have a lot more to do. But that was, of course, a good start to get started with. And as you can tell, there's like one strip right here, another strip right here, and then another strip right here, and looks pretty good. And it's better to have something there than nothing. And I'm planning to just have these as one-way roads. This is like a double-way road, so that's why it's more thicker. This one's just like a one-way road, and it just goes around all around over here. Just continue going in a loop, and then you have these side roads over here. You have more roads over there. Possibly we'll be having a parking lot for the station over here, and probably a road going to that crossing as well. And things will look pretty good, and things are still looking pretty good. And then of course it's just going to take time to of course build it, but that's of course what layouts are all about. They always take quite a bit of time. I do actually want to point out that I think these grade crossings are a lot more shinier than those. Cause those kind of have like a matte chrome finish. No, not a matte chrome finish. This one just kind of has like a matte silver finish. This one actually has like a little bit more shine to it. Kind of cool. So, yeah, I'm planning to, of course, make the turn over here and continue the loop, continue the road over here. Probably have a road going to that crossing. We'll have a parking lot by the station, and then have more roads over there, and so forth. So I think that looks pretty good. Now, the road was not only the thing that I actually added on for decorations. I actually did something pretty cool that was just a little side project that I just decided to do, and that is actually create a little thing for this advertisement. You might have seen this advertisement multiple times in my videos. It came with that Pennsylvania Flyer train over there. This is just an advertisement saying the Pennsylvania Auto Aero train, which is pretty cool. And I think it says standard like that for standard gauge. It's just of course a piece of plastic and a cardboard, but it still looks cool. This is from like 2010. It's in pretty good condition. So I was trying to figure out an idea of what to do with this, and I decided, why not have like a little mountain or some sort, like a little hill or mountain, and set this on top of it. So that's exactly what I did, and so I went ahead and made this little mountain out of foam. As you can tell, I do have this sitting on this mountain of foam. So basically what I have this as is basically a mountain, and so as you can tell it cuts off over here, and I did that on purpose. So as you can tell, I carved of course this is just one half, and then I carved this over here like that, and it was kind of like curved on it. And I try to do like some sort of I try to do it diagonally, because of course it's a mountain and it's supposed to be like that. And so when I carved it, I wasn't really happy with it because it was not really diagonal. It's more vertical than anything else. So I went ahead and did is I cut a second piece, and that gives the mountain a little bit more to it. It has that little bit more of a slope. It has that little areas where it like pokes out and stuff like that. So it does look pretty realistic like that. And so I glued these two pieces together, and I think it looks pretty cool. Of course, when I add some scenic, you want to add some scenic stuff to it, it'll look a lot more better. And so it's a great start so far. It's gonna be like sideways like that. So of course, it's gonna be facing towards the town. Of course, when the train is going down, of course the passengers can go ahead and see that advertisement sitting on top of that mountain. So it looks pretty cool. Alright, and now I have one more thing to show you guys, and this is actually something, well, actually two more things. So I have switched out two more things, and that is, one thing, I have exchanged out my power track. If you do not know what my power track was, it was basically like an accessory track, where it was a Lino fast track, which had a little cut. Or not a little cut, but like, yeah, a little cut, a hole on the side, so you can feed your wires through on the side, so it can be a lot more easier. But recently it's just started to fail on me, and just did not want to power the track anymore. Just did not want to power anything at all, and noticed that it was really rusted out. And so I tried to fix it. I removed most of the rust, and I tried fixing it again, but then it just did not want to work anymore. It was just done for. And so I went ahead and replaced it with just a normal fast track. And of course, with every fast track, there's always those little terminals. There's always those little terminals on the bottom where you can connect anything, any accessories, anything you want to the track, and that will do just fine. And I think this is a lot more better because you don't have the wire sticking out. And basically what I did is I basically drilled a hole so I can have the wire coming through the bottom. The hole that I used to be right here, but now I don't have. It used to have. Yeah, this used to be the hole for. This used to be the hole for the power, but now it's just a hole that's for nothing. And then I have that other hole for the station to light up. And then here's the wire for the power. Goes into the D1000. And so there you have it. And so I think this looks a lot more cleaner because you don't have that wire sticking out, and this works a lot more better than that stupid power track. I mean, it was pretty frustrating because I didn't know what was going on. I don't know why my trains weren't running, and it was frustrating and stressful. And so I finally laid down the hammer, removed that power track, and filled it in with just a normal fast track, and this seems to be working perfectly fine. I have no troubles with it, and everything seems to be working perfectly fine. So everything's working perfectly fine, and I'm very happy. And now the last thing I want to talk about, that was second to last. This is the last one. So the last thing is I've actually done some things for the track. I've done some things to the track, and you can't really tell where it is because you're not supposed to see it. It's supposed to be just something to help out the track. And that is that I've added some padding onto the track to dent some of the sound, some of the rumbling a little bit, because of course, because this is on plywood, it would make a lot of rumbling. It would make like a lot of rumbling because of the train going over it. And sometimes it does sound cool, but when it does like drown out most of the sound, it does get pretty, most of the sound from the train, it does get pretty annoying. So what I went ahead and did is I found some of this foam. Now this foam is like supposed to be used. This foam is like used to, of course, wrap fragile stuff around, and I have quite a bit of sheets of it. And I just randomly found this, and I just randomly found that flying around, and I was wondering why that was. I had my parents why that was sitting there, and they were planning to throw that out. But then I was like, you know what? I could be using that for something. I could possibly use that for something whenever I want to wrap something up and put it away. And also, then came the idea of like, you know what? I can use it for another function. And so what I went ahead and did is I carved this out into specific shapes. And why did I cut it in specific shapes? Is because I used it to, of course, remove some of the noise, some of the rumbling noise from the track by putting the foam underneath the track, just like that. And I continued to do that. I didn't do it on the grade crossing because, of course, it would be pretty annoying to do that. And so this continues all around the whole entire layout, even under the curves. This was kind of fun to do. So I basically got a piece of an access curve. Like I have tons of curves of fast track. So I had a ton of these, and I basically just used one of them to basically carve the foam into the perfect curve shape, and then I basically snuck it under here, stuck the foam under here, and it's under every single piece of track. I literally did every single piece of track except for the grade crossing. I did every single piece of track because you can see it here and here. I do have to cut that out so you can't really see it, but under here, you can see it right there, not under there, here, and all those curves. I did every single piece of track except for the grades, and that was a hassle to do. I had to like unscrew every single piece of track, or I had to unmount every single piece of track, lift the track up ever so gently and slightly, lift it up slightly and just slid the foam under, and that's how I was able to do it. And I did it for every single track. It was a hassle. I had to use like my screwdriver. This is my trusty screwdriver. I absolutely love this guy. It's a Husky, and like I absolutely love this screwdriver because it has a really awesome grip to it. And of course, it can be used for basically almost all screws. Very, very useful. Basically, use that screwdriver for every single piece of track, and my forearms were feeling very sore from all the unscrewing and screwing in. It was real hassle, but I'm glad I got that done, and I have gotten some pretty good results, and has dented out some of the rumbling, because you would be able to hear the rumbling even at slow speeds. Like really, I'm not even joking. You would literally hear the rumbling of the track at slow speeds, like 25 possibly, like 25 scale miles per hour, and that was pretty annoying because I didn't like that. And so I've gotten some great results. I've definitely got a lot of good results, and things sound a lot more better this time, and so I'm pretty happy with it. It definitely sounds a lot more better, and hopefully things sound. Now I do want to point out is that I do want to point this out, that I did actually have the foam installed for that right before that Thanksgiving video. So for the Thanksgiving video, I actually had the foam installed already, and so hopefully you might have noticed some results. This is just something I just rugged with. Like, this is not exactly so thick, but it's at least something to have, or at least something to have there instead of nothing, because without nothing, it sounds pretty bad. So at least it's something good to have there. Could use like these craft foam to at least maybe help with the sound a little bit more, because it's a lot more thicker. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Sorry, crossing. Maybe this will, because this is a lot more thicker than this type of foam, maybe things will sound a lot more better. So hopefully that does fix it a little bit more better, and hopefully things get more better if I do choose to do that. But if I don't choose to do that, I'll just leave it how it is, and probably find something else that's more better than just very thin packing foam, or packing foam. So yeah. I do want to mention that I did move this building over here. Why did I have that? Oh yeah, I had it like over here. But because of the station platform, I decided to move it over here. I think it takes up a lot more space. And then of course, for the holiday season, I just decided to add in this little snowman. You can go ahead and watch the train from the side of the crossing. A little Easter egg for my videos. So did move some cars around, just kind of spaced them out a little bit. Added this little 69 GTO. Yeah, 69 GTO. It was over here on that corner over there, but I moved it over here because it's more of a flashy car, and with my older trains, it would work out well. It's pretty cool. And I moved one of the semis over there. I used to have two. Now I just have one over there. Now I have one over here to fill up some of the space. So that's basically it. I've basically filled up some of the stuff. Basically, that's exactly what I've done. Oh yeah, and added this little rug here because I hate this concrete floor. It's just so, especially in the cold days, I hate it. And so that's why I just found this playing rug. I'm sure everyone knows exactly what this is because it's just such a well-known thing. Like people, like a bunch of kids would remember these playing rugs, and you get it like a little. Oh yeah, I do have one of the cars on me. So you like get one of these little cars, like Matchbox cars or something like that, and of course you would put the car on the little road, and then of course like move it around like that and stuff like that. Remember those good old days? I just use it as a rug to, of course, keep my feet warm and not have to step all over the very cold floors, especially on a cold day. So I did clean some stuff up a little bit. Added in this little rug. Of course, it has a little track on there as well, so it's pretty cool. Of course, I do have this little mat right here. And then, like, this is like usually the spot that I usually do my stuff at, so that's why, of course, I have that rug there. So yeah, so that's basically it. I've added in quite a bit of stuff, and everything looks pretty good so far. I do like the crossings, insulated the track a little bit to remove some of the rumbling. Added in some roads, mountain for the advertisement, pictures, posters, and yeah, that's basically it. Oh yeah, and the flags too. And so yeah, that's basically it. There's not really much else to show, so that's gonna do it for me in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and leave a like, and hopefully I can get some changes for my power supply, or not power supply, what am I talking about? Hopefully I can get something for powering my track, because I do love my Rail King Z1000. I've had this thing for a very long time, basically as long as I've had, basically got the Z1000 for as long as my Evolution Hybrid in there. So it has been in there so I've literally had the Z1000 for as long as I've had the Evolution Hybrid. So it's been a long time. I absolutely love that. It never failed me. It's always worked every single time I've used it. But of course, it's time for an upgrade, and hopefully I can get something that could, of course, give me a little bit more features, because of course I do like conventional, and I do know all the basics of controlling my train conventionally, because I've literally only ran my train conventionally basically all my life. So except for my line chief trains, but hopefully I can get some sort of upgrade to at least give me some more features, and could be a lot more convenient to run, like line chief, like to have a separate remote, a wireless remote, so I don't have to come running over here to turn down the speed and press the horn and stuff like that, because it's just so inconvenient. So looking to find a replacement for that, or not a replacement, but something better. I do love my Z1000, but of course it's time for something that can take its spot. Probably have the Z1000 as a secondary. So with that being said, thank you guys for joining me in today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and leave a like, and expect more videos in the future. And so with that being said, thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys next time.